The feds have concluded, Rob, after investigating the situation surrounding Shohei Ohtani, that he was not involved in the scheme and that instead he was a victim of fraud. That's what law enforcement sources with direct knowledge of the case tell TMZ Sports. They've been investigating his translator, who was a close friend, and they say, Rob, that Ipe Muzahara gambled away millions of dollars, reportedly at least $4.5 million. And after the story broke, he said Ohtani had covered the debt. But the sources say that the feds have concluded that Ohtani was completely in the dark, knew nothing about the gambling debt, and that Muzahara embezzled from one of Ohtani's accounts without his knowledge. What are your thoughts?
Well, that would be good for Major League Baseball, the Dodgers, and Ohtani if that report is accurate. It's TMZ. They get a lot of stuff right. They get some stuff wrong, but they get a lot right. So that if they feel confident to write that, there could be something. My only question, I think we both questioned, was taking that kind of money out of his account more than one time. It wasn't a one-time, you know what I mean, Chris, where he took the $4.5 million out and you didn't know it. It was numerous withdrawals from his account, which is what made me suspicious about it.
This sounds crazy, and you make a great point. I don't know, Rob. I mean, this guy's got so much money. It is possible he wouldn't even miss $1 million. And I hate to say that because obviously that's not the case.
But he's not the only one who monitors his account. You know, he has an accountant. He has an agent. He's with CAA.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they all have access to your accounts like that. Maybe Muzahara had access.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean, that was not only his translator, his good friend, confidant.
You might be right. I'm just saying that was the only thing that I thought. Like, if it was a one time, he went in, took the money, and you didn't know. You know what I mean? It just seemed like there were multiple deductions. But then again, you might be right. Maybe he didn't miss $500,000 or $700,000 at a time. Right. I always thought that you would get an alert from the bank.
I know I get alerts when there's a certain amount.
When it's a certain amount of money, right?
And it don't take that much to get
for me, if it's over $35, I get an alert, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to get Wi-Fi and a Diet Coke on the flight to Newark. You know,
I mean, sometimes, Rob. I mean, look, we all know that you can be hacked. You make a good point. It's still, but the feds did investigate.
No, I'm not.
I'd be more skeptical. Not that couldn't be a little skepticism in this situation, but I would be more skeptical, Rob, if this was an MLB investigation. You know, Major League Baseball investigated and found out, guess what?
But you got to remember, all of these things normally, Chris, are like Balco. That was a federal investigation. Same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like those are the ones that usually uncover this stuff and not
journalists or the feds.
Right. Yep.
It's not going to be the league.
Yeah. 100%.
Not going to be a team, the league. I mean, when does that happen? I mean, like in the NBA, Rob, I've never seen like a star get fail a drug test, like, be suspended 6 games for PEDs or anything. It's always these random, kind of role play randoms, as Cam Newton might call them. But look, Rob, ultimately, you hate that a crime like this took place, but if this is true, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, no.
Because Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei, he put himself out there, Chris, when he had the press conference, said he never bet on anything. Forget about baseball. He said it.
Right.
He never bet on anything. He's not into gambling. It's not a part of who he is. And I always said, like, when you paint yourself in a corner, if something turns up and your name is on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Then everything unravels. Right.
Rob
right.
G's got some extra news.
We
from
got
the,
more
New
coming
York
down
Times.
as you guys are speaking. According to the New York Times exclusively, Ohtani's former interpreter, Ippei Misuhara, is in negotiations to plead guilty in connection with the purported theft of his money. And Ohtani was interviewing and working alongside feds as part of the investigation.
Okay, now I'm just going to play devil's advocate. I'm just.
Yeah.
Could he be the fall guy? Like for Ohtani, could he be the fall guy?
Chris Carter said you better get one, right?
No, right.
The fall guy, the league.
But you know what I mean, Chris. Like,
no, I mean, look, you know how much I like Ohtani. I'm glad.
no, and I'm not,
that
and
he
I'm not
appears
saying he
innocent, but
gambled.
yes.
I'm not.
No, you're right. Like, it's possible. Sure. I mean, Ohtani. It is possible, Rob. There's no. I mean,
That's all I'm
not
saying. I'm
I
not
believe
either.
That I believe the report. I want to believe the report.
I'm with you. I'm just saying,
right?
as devil advocate, because it happens where somebody will take the fall because they.
Rob, absolutely. We wouldn't be being honest if that wasn't at least a possibility.
Right.
Because I don't know what type of time he may do. It may be a, minimum security type place. And then, Rob, it's like when you get out, bro, you ain't gonna have to have another care in the world because you're gonna be taken care of.